Hi, folks, and welcome to another episode of the Video Game Choo Choo Podcast. I'm your host, John, and this week we're ringing in a new batch of folks. Don't worry, we still got the classic comedy trio. Wait, trio? Why did I say trio?
There's only two of us. Why did you say trio?
Why did I say trio?
You got a mouse in your pocket over there, John?
John, Ryan, and the Holy Ghost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, so Ryan and I are both here, of course. So... Why did I say trio?
Fucking dumbass.
Oh my god.
Stupid.
Stupid ass. Okay.
Oh, man.
Look, we have two new folks from the latest round of hires. We brought on 4 people. I originally said we were going to bring on 2, but as time went on, I just said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm bringing on 4 people. It's my website. I can do what I want. And so I did. Brought on 4 lovely folks who will help us out. The 2 video people that we hired will be on the podcast at a later date. I will be introducing you to 2 of our lovely new writers. I would like everyone to give a nice warm welcome to Janie and Trixie. And no, I did not choose them because they both have E at the end of their names. That was a complete coincidence. I chose them because they were good writers, and I thought they would be good fits for the site. So, first off, I would like to introduce everybody to Janie. Janie,
hello.
How are you doing?
Doing good.
Glad to hear it. Is there anything you would like to tell the audience about yourself before I maybe ask you a few things?
Sure. My name's Janie. I like video games. I like writing about games. I play mostly like indie games. If it's got like a cool soundtrack, I'm just like a sucker for like cool soundtrack, cool aesthetic. Like that's totally my shit.
Feel it?
Yeah. I play games on PC and on Switch. I'm going to be around writing for the site. You see me probably a bunch next week once E3 hits. And or I guess this will come out when E3 has started. So you'll probably see some things up. Yeah, so I'll be around writing, doing cool stuff. Super excited to be here. Excited to be on the site.
Not to throw too much of a wrench in your thing, but I think this will be out before E3.
Okay.
We're probably gonna skip putting out the podcast the week of E3 because we're all gonna be busy as hell, and I don't want anyone to expect us to do all that shit. Okay, be reasonable. Okay, none of us are getting paid. Thank you. Janie, why don't you tell us a little bit more about the kinds of games that you like? You say indie games and games with cool soundtracks. Are there any specific games that you want to bring up as, like, favorites?
Okay, favorites. I think my favorite game probably that comes to mind when we're talking about cool aesthetics, cool soundtracks is probably, like, Sword and Sorcery. It's a game from a few years ago. It had, like, a weird, like, it's this, like, pixel art, super, like, low-res fantasy game. It came out on like iPad, I think, first. It was like an iPad iPhone game before it eventually had like a PC release. But it's just this super cool atmospheric game where you're just like going around and like doing spells and whatnot. It's really neat. Past that, I think lately I've been playing a lot of Celeste and just absolutely loving it. That's what I've been doing this past week. Also, I'm a big fan of like the Dishonored series. I love immersive sims, even though they're slowly dying and it pains me a lot. But also I'm a big fan of like tactics games. I love like strategy, and I used to play a bunch of grand strategy games. These days I mostly play like games like XCOM or BattleTech. Even though I'm not particularly good at them. I'll go in and occasionally I'm a big save scummer. Like, man, not afraid to go back and load if I lose a whole squad.
Hell yeah.
It's just how I play. You know,
All right.
You got to do what you got to do.
Hell yeah. I can respect that. No shame on this podcast.
Of course. So, what are some things that folks can expect from you? Maybe some types of articles that you're planning on writing, maybe the kind of content that you're thinking about creating, anything like that?
Sure. So I think I'll be around writing news for the most part, especially in this big crunch time. But I'm really looking forward to doing, I like doing like editorial pieces, like pieces thinking about games and thinking about like themes and sort of how mechanics can uphold themes and sort of examining games through like different lenses. So I would love to do like that sort of writing. Yeah, just really digging into games in cool ways.
And is there any? Do you have any other interests that you would like to share with everybody, so maybe they can be aware of the kind of stuff that you'd like to talk about, maybe in the Discord, or maybe stuff that we could talk about on the podcast?
Yeah, sure. So I'm a big fan of like tabletop role-playing games too. Is like another like big love of mine. I'm in probably way too many campaigns than is probably reasonable. I play all sorts of different RPGs. If you need any recs for like anything, hit me up on the Discord, I'll be around in the tabletop chat there.
Cool. All right, thank you so much. Is there anything else that you want to say before we move on?
No, that's it. I'm just super excited to be here.
All right, I'm excited for you to be here too. Absolutely. Trixie, you there?
Yep. Hello.
Awesome. All right, same thing with you. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
My name's Trixie. I write a lot. I unfortunately do not play as much video games as I do watch anime, but I'm slowly changing that one of these days. I am a huge fan of visual novels, of RPGs. That's my main jam. And I basically play anything I can find on the web that's like really niche and indie, and check all that stuff out. I love to talk about on the site.
Of course.
Although E3 is probably going to be such a busy time of the year that I'll probably hold off on stuff until after that.
You are perfectly fine with all of that. Yeah, E3 is... I feel a little bad that I'm kind of throwing everybody in the deep end here, but at the very least, you will feel much better afterwards. And also, since there's so many of us, it will be absolutely okay.
Yeah.
So don't worry too much about it.
I've been through 3 E3s on this site, 2 or something, 3 maybe. It's you get used to it, It's not as bad as you might think.
Do you want to talk any specifics about the kind of games that you like?
I mainly just flock to cheap or free to play games, so naturally I gravitate towards visual novels, which I am a big fan of, thankfully. My favorite anything ever is Danganronpa, which is basically the kind of stuff I'm super into.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
You're in good company, my friend. Don't you worry about that.
Hell yeah.
Glad to hear it. So you mentioned that you watch a lot of anime.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of us watch anime too, so again, good company. Do you want to maybe talk about some of your favorite anime, and then maybe some other stuff that you are interested in?
There's a whole bunch, but just to keep it short, Satoshi Kon is my favorite director of all time. Big fan of Paranoia Agent Specific.
Nice.
Very good. It's a very good anime.
The Monogatari series is a recent interest of mine, as is Little Witch Academia, which I'm only now starting to catch up on, despite wanting to watch it for years now. Not the Danganronpa anime.
No.
I'll take the games over those, but I mean, they have their charms, I guess. Question mark.
No. I would just say that they are not good either representations of the games, or they undermine good character arcs.
Yeah.
I remember you mentioning that you like Danganronpa when I was interviewing you, and this did not come in. I did not bring Trixie on because she likes Danganronpa, okay? I will say that now. But I remember we started talking about the anime, and I was just very much like, boy, they've sure fucked up Junko, huh? And
Yeah,
it's not great.
some of my favorite characters did not get the best treatment in that show. Although
No.
I do try to find the good even in the garbage, and I am a big fan of both the adaptation and Danganronpa 3's English dub. They are extremely campy, extremely good, and extremely memeable, which is basically the best it can do.
Absolutely. And yeah, I will also say that Rose, I know, likes Monogatari, so if you could probably talk to her about that stuff sometime. I bet she would get a kick out of that. So yeah, we're all anime nerds here.
Yeah. The only other thing I can think of is that I listen to a lot of music, but I used to really be into a Guitar Hero and Rock Band competitive stuff.
Oh, wow.
I still have a few broken guitars and keys instruments from my time where I just played Rock Band 3 nearly every day, which is about as hardcore as I can get into a video game, more or less. That's my niche, basically.
Well, thank you so much for sharing. Folks, now that we've gotten our introductions out of the way, which again, I'm very happy that you're here, and I hope that you enjoy your time on the show, on the website, etc., because I'm very happy to have you all on. I'm going to say let's just get started, because I don't want us to take too long on all of this. This episode is not going to be a standard episode. Instead of doing our regular, what we've been playing and what we find interesting segments, I'm going to have us talk about two things. The big thing we're going to talk about is our E3 predictions and just how we feel about E3 in general. But before that, we're going to talk about probably the biggest piece of news, at the very least to me, that has come out recently, and it was the leaked prototype to Pokemon Gold and Silver.
Oh my gosh.
Now, I am, as many of you are aware, I am a gigantic Pokemon nerd. I love Pokemon, and I am also a big fan of unreleased stuff and hidden files and retro games, and so all of this came together all at once. I was up at like 4 a.m. trying to watch Castle of Cagliostro because I couldn't sleep, and all of a sudden I just saw a bunch of people going like, someone leaked the Space World prototype for Pokemon Gold and Silver, and there are different Pokemon on here. And I stayed up a whole nother hour. And I feel like a lot of other people did too.
How did that leak even happen? Like, did someone just get their hands on an OG copy, or?
So, I don't think anyone really knows. It sounds like just some anonymous person came across this dump, had a ROM, or multiple ROMs really, because they have the gold and silver versions, and one was a debug ROM and another was... And so they have a debug ROM and a non-debug ROM for both gold and silver. So they were both... They're all like updated to November 15th, 1997. They're all the same date. So nobody really knows exactly where this came from. There was a rumor going around that like some reclusive game collector died and this was in his collection, but I think people are saying that that's not true.
That seems out there.
Yeah, it seems like a very romantic notion, like, oh, old man Wimberley finally kicked the bucket, and now his treasure troves are yours for those who dare explore his haunted game mansion, I guess. I mean...
That sounds about right.
You say reclusive game collector, and I just can't imagine anything else aside from this dude in like a high-backed velvet chair with like a signed copy of like the Bubsy demo, like in a glass dome on his smoking table.
Yeah, it's just fucking like Metal Jesus in 60 years or some shit. Like, I'm so glad that I introduced Metal Jesus to all of you by now, so you all can laugh at that.
Get that reference.
The obscure old, like not even that old, but the old game dad that does dumb shit on YouTube.
That was what our video game choo-choo training was just...
It was introducing you to a bunch of bad videos. Yes, that's what it was. You're not lying at all. So anyway, we can talk really quick about some of the stuff that they uncovered in this beta. So they are still data mining it, and they are still proving and disproving things. They are going to release some form of English translation in the future. And I'm guessing they might also do some kind of stability stuff so it can be like fully playable. But for now, it is just the beta. It is just the demo that they showed at Space World. So you're not really supposed to go past a certain point, but people have been like reprogramming it and having different things work. And it sounds like it was very far along. Like there was stuff in that demo that absolutely didn't have to be in there and was showing a good portion of the game being done. Like some of the stuff here's some of the minor things. They had some moves that ended up not showing up until future generations, like water sport, if you know that move. That's the move that...
Don't worry, John, I know that move.
Look, I'm not talking about piss. I'm talking about the actual Pokemon move, water sport. In Generation 3, it makes fire-type moves weaker.
Mm-hmm.
But in this game, it's basically just surf. So, I don't know. There's also some moves that might have been turned into other moves in the future. Like there's a move called Strong Arm that the description matches what Meteor Mash was going to be in the future generation. There's even a move called Bright Moss that ended up being a held item in Generation 6. So 4 generations later, it's crazy. There's some other like little differences, like Cubone's Bone Rush move was originally going to be called Bone Rock.
I love the Flintstones.
That's such a better name.
I like that.
Yeah, so just little things like that. There's some other interesting things too. Instead of riding a bike, you were going to ride a skateboard.
I can't
Come
believe.
on, that's just
Hell yeah.
so much better.
This is unconfirmed, but I did see some people talking about that there was, at the very least, the possibility of you being able to play as a girl before Crystal. So they were, I guess, trying to implement that in Gold and Silver and just couldn't do it, or something happened, but they did end up doing it in Crystal. There are some other very interesting sprites, such as Giovanni, who did not show up in the game at all in Gold and Silver. Like, a big part of the story of Team Rocket in Gold and Silver was them trying to bring back Team Rocket without Giovanni, like, trying to contact him. And I guess he was originally just going to be in Gold and Silver as, I guess, the villain. Imposter Professor Oak was in this game.
Wait.
If you're familiar with the trading card game card, he was going to be a character. There's a dark Nurse Joy.
Sorry?
Yeah, it's just this dark Nurse Joy.
I'm assuming that probably refers to the fact that she has dark-colored hair and is not some
And not her evil twin or something.
insinuation of her being some otherworldly succubi,
Her persona.
Sure.
Yeah, Shadow Nurse Joy. I could see them being like, maybe they were going to have her have a different hair color when you're in Kanto or something like that. That could probably be it. There's also a Power Ranger for some reason, like just a Power Ranger looking dude. There's some, let's see here, there's also some mini-games. There were going to be more mini-games, like Picross. There's going to be a Picross mini-game in it. And the map was vastly different. Instead of just having Johto and Kanto be sections, or like 2, like, small areas in Japan, basically, they were going to make Johto be the entire rest of Japan. Because Kanto and Johto are based on real prefectures in Japan, and I guess they were going to go, you know what, fuck it. Johto's going to be all of Japan.
Huh.
Jeez.
Originally, Gold and Silver were going to be the last Pokemon games, but they sold so well they didn't do it. So
That's wild to think about in the year 2018.
So we come to probably the most important part. The Pokemon.
Hell yeah.
Tell us about the Pokemon.
They were
Pokejon.
the game data had 251 Pokemon, which is what we ended up getting. But there are a bunch of completely unused Pokemon, never used before. There are also Pokemon that ended up getting used later, and there's also some Pokemon that seem to be the inspiration for future Pokemon.
Yes.
So they have the entire original 151. So we don't have to really touch upon that. They have some different sprites though. So if you do want to look up the sprites, a lot of them are different than what you see in Gen 2. First off, almost immediately you notice, I'm gonna go through these. First off, immediately you notice there's Chikorita, there's some weird looking motherfucker, and then there's Meganium.
What's the deal with that second evolution? Because it looks like it got turned inside out or something.
I don't know. It's super weird.
It's like an alien plant. Like, it's just...
I'm not sure.
It looks like what they've done is Chikorita is the base evolution, obviously. Mm-hmm. And then for the next evolution, like it like splits open and like blossoms, and there's like a head with like a little 3-mouth face coming out of it. And then in the next evolution, it grows to full size, and the little antenna on the top of the head become the top of whatever its name is. Meganium. Yeah, it's like the flower grows, but that's such a disturbing implication as to what happens to the first evolutionary stage of Chikorita. Like, did she just like sprout? Like, what is the deal here?
It's a lot. It's pretty violent looking, and I am pretty glad that they just went with Bayleaf just to like, oh, because like Chikorita's like necklace thing, it just looks like little seeds, and then they sprout open, and then they flower, and that's what Meganium is. And this middle evolution is just like, oh, what if the entire bottom of Chikorita like fucking exploded?
Yeah. It's
very strange.
It's gruesome in a way I'm not entirely comfortable with, but some of these other takes on the starters, like Cyndaquil originally being some sort of flaming teddy bear, and
Honoguma.
the Totodile line turning into like a weird dinosaur Lapras type thing is also very good.
Yeah. It looks like a plesiosaur Loch Ness Monster kind of deal. Let's see here. Hoot Hoot was a lot more angular. Or no, not Hoot Hoot. Noctowl, excuse me. Noctowl was a lot more angular.
Mm-hmm.
Centret just doesn't exist.
Yeah.
There was a baby Vulpix. There were a lot more baby forms in this in this generation.
And then we have what I think are
it's Tangela.
Yeah, I think we have here what might be the best two evolutions in this entire beta leak, which is a pre-Tangela form and a post-Tangela form that are both incredible.
Yes.
It's just like a little eye, and it's so cute. I love it so much.
It's extremely good. This with the little eye and then the one with just like the mouth peeking out are doing me so right over here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so many of these beta Pokemon are just a lot cuter.
Yeah, I think a lot of them have a sort of weird kind of charm to them that some of the final ones don't really possess.
Mm-hmm. There was something called Hanie or Ray Leap, I guess is the translated name. That's based on those I don't think they're manta rays, but they're those like ray fish that jump out of the water. That's what that's based on. So that never came back. That's just a scrapped Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Quillfish, and what looks to be a Quillfish evolution that I think they kind of turned into Chinchou and Lantern. So Quillfish is just by itself, and then there's this like electric looking fish that I guess eventually became Chinchou and Lantern. So here's a couple more babies. Pichu, Cleffa, and Igglybuff are just round as shit.
They're so good.
It's so good.
This teeny Pichu, I just love him.
I am anxiously awaiting someone to mod that into Melee so you could play as a little round Pichu. Let's see here. Quagsire was just by itself, it seems like. So there was no Wooper. Togekiss didn't exist. Togepi was just going to be by itself. There is a baby Goldeen. Meryl wasn't going to have an evolution. Here's some other like new Pokemon that just kind of got thrown out. There is something called Monbo 1. That's just like a mola fish.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I guess we eventually got a Lomaloa, but it has a number in it for some reason.
Sorry, it's Monbo 1. I heard Mambo 1, like like
I did too.
Might as well be.
Yeah.
I think my favorite might be Igglybuff, because it's just a circle.
It's just a circle.
It's just a circle with feet.
Just a circle.
It's very good. There's also Anchorage, which is a shark with an anchor on it that I guess eventually became Sharpedo.
It's just not even a shark, it's like half a shark and then just a chain with an anchor.
Yeah. There's Grotess, which is a one of those anglerfish. It looks like an anglerfish, and I'm guessing that eventually became Huntail. Let's see here. There's a baby Paris. A very different design for Riados. It was originally going to be called Two-Head, because it kind of looks like it has two heads. Here's a good one. Animon, who was going to be an evolution of Ditto. And all it is I guess it's part steel type, and it still only knows transform. And it looks weird as shit.
It's scary.
Jesus.
It's just a pointy screaming thing, and I really respect that they took the classic novel I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream and made it into a Pokemon which does in fact have a mouth and is indeed screaming.
Screaming.
Yeah.
I am a Ditto that was traded with a metal coat, and I must scream.
Yeah.
There's a baby Doduo, which, funnily enough, has 3 heads. So I guess it loses one head and then regrows it later.
Maybe when they were taking the photos for like the sprites, the other head was just like tidying the feathers, so you didn't see it because it was out of the shot.
Yeah, it's just constantly leaning back, like, oh man, we just can't see it.
Yeah.
Sunflora was just going to be its own thing. There was no Sunkern. There's a cut ghost type Pokemon just called Twins.
With a Z.
Yeah.
So
It's just like 2 ghosts.
what you're telling me is this is Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito who voiced this Pokemon.
Fuck.
I guess so. There was no Yanma. Yanma, I guess, was cut. There was no Yanma. Giraffreg originally had 2 full heads. Like, there was a normal version, and then on the back was, like, a dark giraffe rig.
I kind of love it.
Yeah, so, I mean, giraffe rig still exists, but now it just has, like, the tiny head on its tail that bites you. There was a baby Meowth called Meowsy.
It's very cute.
Polytoad had a very different design that looked just like a frog. Let's see here. Instead of Ladian, there was just a very standard-looking ladybug evolution for Ladybug.
Looks angry as shit. There's a card in Yu-Gi-Oh! That's like 4-star Ladybug of Doom, and it looks exactly like this mad bastard here on the wiki page.
Yeah, it's Tripstar is what it says on here, because it has 3 stars on its back. Let's see here. There's a baby Ponyta called Minicorn.
Very cute.
Here's a wild one. You know how everyone says that, oh, Shelder evolves, or Shelder bites a slow poke, and depending on where it bites it, it turns into a Slowbro or Slowking? I guess they were going to make that weird design of Shelder, like when it evolved, when it went, like, the different kind, they were going to turn that into a Pokemon called Turban. So that was going to be an actual design, and I guess they scrapped it. There's a baby Grimer named Grimy.
Very good.
Ooh, me grimy.
Remoraid and Octillery were going to have, like, designs that actually kind of matched their names. Remoraid was going to look like an actual fucking gun, and Octillery looks like a tank. Let's see here. We're almost done here. Let's see here. Tyrogue and Hitmontop had very different designs. They're kind of fucked up. I'm glad they don't look like that anymore.
Yeah.
There's a Growlithe pre-evolution called Pooty. Hoppip, Jumpluff, and Drifloon. Not Drifloon. Hoppip, Jumpluff, and it's Driftpluff. I don't remember. But they had like They had like cat tails. They were like cats.
Yeah. They all have the little, like the 3-mouth. Like meow.
A lot of these Pokemon have the 3-mouth.
It seems like they just scrapped a lot of the cat elements.
Yeah. There's a Pokemon called Ballerine, which seems to be a pre-evolution of Mr. Mime. Like, this is Proto-Mime Jr. There's a pre-evolution for Electabuzz called Electabee that's just like this round orb with a halo.
I think it's Ella Baby, which is
Ellabee.
It's good.
Ella Baby.
It is Ella Baby.
Ella Baby.
Ella Baby. You're right.
Just a little electric baby.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
So we know that that Oddish can evolve into Bellossom instead of Vileplume under certain conditions. It seems like they were planning on doing something like that for Bellsprout, because there's this weird-looking Bellsprout-looking motherfucker called Belmit. Who knows what's going on with that? There's this fire seal called Bomb Seeker. That's pretty cool. There's these round electric tigers named Tigrette and Electiger. There is a far-fetched evolution called Madame that looks like it's going to smack you, like it's an actual S&M Pokemon. Like, it has a whip and a mask.
Oh, Jesus.
And I saw some people thinking that they might have taken that concept and turned it into Lugia, and we'll get to that in a moment. But it does look a lot like Lugia. There are some ghost types. There's Curstraw, which looks like a voodoo doll, and Pangxi, which looks like a Jiangxi zombie. Like one of those Chinese jumping zombies.
Mm-hmm.
Pinsir was going to have an evolution called Plux, which kind of looks like Heracross, so I think they just turned it into a Heracross.
Yeah, probably.
There are these two Pokemon, Wolfman and Warwolf, and Wolfman kind of looks like Snorunt, so I think they turned this into Snorunt and Glalie, in my opinion. There's the original form of Porygon 2, which is based on a lion from a Japanese advertisement.
Huh.
So that's pretty weird. There is... Licky Licky was supposed to be in this gen, which is really surprising. There's an alternate version of Licky Licky. There's a new version of Kingdra here. There's a different version of Kingdra.
And then we have the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost of the Pokemon beta designs.
Oh my gosh.
I could not be fucking happier with the way that these look. It's incredible.
Yeah, the legendary dogs, Raikou, Entei, and Suicune, look like something you drew when you were a teenager and you read a bunch of Warrior Cats books.
It's so good.
So they're awesome, yeah.
It's so good. Like, they even have such distinct personalities. You have like Raikou, who's like the edgy, like, oh, don't talk to me, and my bristly personality. And then you have Entei, who's like the kind of protagonist with like a fiery personality, but they're kind of like level-headed and always there for their friends when they need them. And then you have Suicune, who's like the kind of sad, mopey, introverted legendary dog who doesn't say much, but when they do, they speak volumes. And I want all of these as like
absolutely.
I want them in my life. I want some sort of physical evidence of these
I want
three.
them in the next gen for sure.
Yeah.
They're just like the personas of like a 2004 pop punk band.
Absolutely.
It's great. It's great.
I'm gonna go make these into stickers or something because they're unbelievable, to be completely honest.
Absolutely.
If you told me these were drawn in 2004, I would believe you full stop.
There's an alternate version of Sneasel that just looks like a cat. So again, I think they were going a little too hard on the cats. Snubble didn't have an evolution. It was just Snubble. Again, Togepi didn't have an evolution. There's this thing called Tail that seems to just be like the basis for Apom. It also kind of looks like a cat. And last but not least, funnily enough, Leafeon was in this gen originally. They were going to give Eevee the grass type evolution all the way back in Gen 2. So that's pretty wild. Anyway, I think we went over a lot of this.
Yes.
If you want to look into that more, you can go onto the cutting room floor. They have plenty of information. They're still uncovering new stuff. But goodness gracious, I am so excited to see more about that. And again, they are working on an English translation. You can download these ROMs right now, and then you can get the English translation when it's done, and you can play through it. I mean, you can play through it now if you know Japanese, but it exists. You can play it. That's crazy. I love it.
It's one of those things that you, like, never think about happening. Like, you don't go your day-to-day like, oh, I hope they uncover, the gold and silver demo from Space World or whatever, but then when it does happen, it's, like, amazing,
Absolutely. Before we move on, I'm going to ask a question for everybody. Are there any rumored or secret, like, any games that were announced previously or were rumored or anything like that you really wish that you could, at the very least, have some kind of leak like this exist? Is there anything from the past that you would want to see like this? I can go first while you all are thinking. My choice is absolutely Earthbound 64, the original version of Mother 3.
Oh god, yeah.
Like, as soon as I heard about this gold and silver thing, my immediate response was just, that's gotta be what's next. Someone has to have that still. That has to still exist. I mean, there's less of a chance because I know it was for N64 disk drive, and those discs were being rewritten all the time, but it's gotta still exist somewhere. Like, it's gotta be out there. That's what I hope.
My, what I was going to say is that I can't think of anything off the top of my head that's been, considered lost that hasn't been found already, because I don't really know as much about a lot of this stuff as y'all do. I will say one of the cool things that I remember happening a little while back was when they discovered the cut enemies from the first Silent Hill game. That was really cool. I don't know if you saw that, but there was like a bigger, like smaller moth enemies and just some various like shamblers and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, cool. So anything cut like that from, like horror games, I'm always really interested in. Mm-hmm. But there's nothing in particular that's super pressing in the back of my mind.
The first thing that came to mind immediately was the prototype for Danganronpa, which was called Distrust, which actually got scrapped because it was considered too gruesome, which is amazing considering how wacky violent that series got eventually. There is so much that changed between that prototype and the original Danganronpa, even though a lot of it is similar. Like, the most immediate example is that Monokuma in Distrust looks like an anatomy kind of figure that you would hang up in, like, a science classroom or something.
Yes, I remember that.
It's absolutely gruesome, like, and disgusting. There was this mechanic where, like, you could go down these entirely different paths and storylines and get all these wildly different endings depending on, like, who died and who trusted you and that kind of thing. Like, way open-ended. And also, during the trials, there were rhythm mini games of a kind. Like, I really hope that I don't think there's a playable version, but like, surely one of these days,
I'm sure something will come up eventually.
hopefully.
Janie, do you have anything?
Nothing really comes to mind, no, unfortunately.
All right. I think we're ready to move on to the meat of the convo. So E3 is coming up. I know, we just E3 is coming up, and of course we're going to go over everything, or we're going to be covering it. We're going to be talking about all the news. We're going to be complaining about all the dumb shit. We're going to be laughing at all the terrible jokes we're going to be making the whole week, and hopefully you come along with us. I'm going to go through each of the press conferences, and we're going to just real quick, each of us, talk about what we're going to talk about what we expect to see and what we really want to see. So first off, I'm going to tell you basically exactly what we already know is going to be there, and then we'll talk about our hopes and all that stuff. So I'm going to start with Sony. Sony has already confirmed that their press conference is going to be a little light. They said that they will focus on 4 games: Death Stranding, Ghost of Tsushima, which, if you don't recall that is the new game by Sucker Punch. That's the Japanese samurai game. Spider-Man, and The Last of Us Part 2. Other than that, they said that they will be announcing things from third-party publishers and indie devs. But that is all they will talk about on the main show floor, or during their main event. Why don't we talk about some things that we want to hear from Sony's third parties at E3? What do you expect from Sony, and what do you hope Sony does?
I generally am going to try and take things at face value this E3. I don't want to get my hopes up too much and then be disappointed. If Sony says that those are the games they're going to focus on, I'm completely cool with that. I have no problem with seeing more of Spider-Man, because I think I am most definitely playing that game. Death Stranding interests me, even though it's something that has critical amounts of excitement built up around it, even though nobody knows what the hell that game actually is. So I think that's going to be interesting to see if they choose to reveal anything else about that title, or if they just hit us with another cryptic trailer and it's like, hey, check back next year.
Yeah, I don't expect anything about Death Stranding beyond another trailer.
Yeah, I'd like to expect more, but I feel like those expectations will not be met, in terms of third-party stuff, it's hard for me to say because I'm not as familiar with the work Sony typically does with third parties as to, who kind of comes to the game and all that. I'd really like to see something on stage that's going to kind of, or something at the show at least that'll kind of surprise me. One of my favorite games last year was the Sexy Brutale. And that game just kind of came out of nowhere, I feel like. And so what I'd like to see from Sony, since I play a lot of those kinds of games on PC, but also on PS4, is something smaller that's going to kind of surprise me, I think. And, maybe not that small, but something I want to see what Sony is bringing to the table that's new this year, or what their third parties are bringing to the table that's new this year. I get the feeling we'll probably hear something about the new FromSoft game, which I'll be looking forward to. But other than that, there's not a whole lot in specific that comes to my mind regarding Sony.
Janie, do you want to go ahead and talk about your predictions and or hopes?
Sure. So I think, okay, is CD Projekt Red, would that be Sony? Would that be...
I mean, not necessarily,
Not specific to Sony.
Yeah.
The Cyberpunk 2077 that they've just been, working on forever. I'm hoping that we get to see more of that. That would be it's probably a long shot, but that would be probably one of my hopes. Yeah, I just love Cyberpunk stuff, so it seems like a cool game so far. I don't know. Other than that, yeah, I'm not sure. New FromSoft game, absolutely looking out for that. Other than that, not sure.
Trixie, do you have any opinions or guesses about what they're going to talk about?
A lot of them are covered, really. I'm a bit doubtful about new From Software, but I always like to have my hopes up for that. Supposedly there might be a Horizon sequel, which I really would want, but I don't know how likely that would be.
That seems a little soon.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't rule it out.
I've just heard a lot of talk about possible Horizon sequels. So that's at least one thing I hope that either gets confirmed or denied, one way or the other.
As for me, I definitely think there's going to be a lot of fighting game talk. I think it's a big fighting game revival moment, so I could see them showing some new trailers for characters from Dragon Ball, Street Fighter, maybe announcing some new fighting games from other developers. I could see maybe there's been a lot of rumors going around of a new Samurai Showdown. I could see that getting announced there. And one other thing that I am going to guess, because it's been getting leaked to high hell, I think they will announce the new Devil May Cry 5 at Sony's conference. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So that'll be that. Microsoft has a lot of ground to cover this year. There's not a lot of stuff that we're too expecting of. Everyone seems to think that, yes, there's going to be a Halo 6. There's a lot of talk about Gears of War 5, or at the very least some kind of Gears of War game. And there has been also a lot of talk of a new Fable. Janie, do you want to go ahead and tell us what you expect and what you hope Microsoft talks about?
Connect 3. No,
God.
I don't really know. I don't really know what to expect. Yeah, I don't have a lot for Microsoft. New Fable would be cool, but other than that, no real thoughts.
Microsoft is usually like the most boring press conference at E3 for me, but I hear that there's gonna be some talk of a Battle Royale game at Microsoft's conference, which I don't know what that could possibly be, but
I saw, I think Polygon said that they had heard that they were going to do a Gears of War Battle Royale game.
Sure. Yeah. Sounds about right.
Yeah.
I believe anything you say, really.
Sure.
Aside from that, I guess the only other thing I can think of is like, I probably believe a Halo Battle Royale by this point. I don't know what Halo 6 could possibly be. Probably same old. That's all I can think of.
That's what I would put my money on. Yeah, I would say definitely Halo, definitely Gears. I thought I saw some leaked footage of a Gears of War 2 remaster. Because they did that Gears of War 1 remaster not that long ago. I think that sounds like something that they could do really quick so they could put out Gears 5 next year. Fable, maybe. We'll see. They're going to keep talking about VR. They're going to keep talking about fucking Minecraft.
I mean, yeah.
You know how it'll be. They definitely need to pull themselves out, though, because their software is incredibly lacking. Not a lot of people like Sea of Thieves. Not a lot of people like a lot of the stuff they're working on.
Which is weird, because Sea of Thieves was pretty hyped last year, and now it's just no one gives a shit.
Yeah.
They probably need some kind of new IP, like literally anything, to sustain interest.
Yeah, I think a new IP would help them out a lot. And I forget if I said it, but they need to just put Crackdown 3 out already. That game needs to be out. It's been like 4 years.
Yeah.
They need to just put that game out.
Yeah, I think y'all make good points about Microsoft kind of being lacking in the software area. Not that that's news to anybody, but I mean, they've got a lot to live up to after revealing the world's most powerful console last year, so, expectations sky high. I do think it's interesting. I think they're particularly in kind of a weird place because last year one of their big pools, I think, was PlayerUnknown at E3, right? Didn't they announce that for Xbox at E3?
Yes.
And that was this time last year. That was the fucking biggest get in the world for Microsoft, but now no one fucking cares. No one cares about PlayerUnknown at this point, and
they can't announce Fortnite because that's already out. So
yeah, exactly. They hopped on the zeitgeist at precisely the right time, but unfortunately, they were not at its peak. They were right before the peak of all that, and I think anything they could do with a Battle Royale game in the wake of Fortnite would seem just like patching up in a weird way. I mean, obviously those games are still super popular, but that mileage is only going to last, I would say, like a year or two at this point. I agree with you and Trixie John that they need to have some sort of new IP that's engaging, but I really don't want to see them hedge their bets just on hardware again. Not that they could, because they've kind of wrung that well dry at this point to no great effect, I would say.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping for something like that. I'm not a huge fan of Microsoft, but anytime a new IP comes out, I'm generally pretty interested just to see what it is. I do think at Microsoft this year, we will probably see Red Dead 2. I think that's going to be at the Microsoft conference.
You think so?
I do. I think they'll show a trailer at the very least. I think that's where that comes in, and I think, that's Rockstar, right? They're not allied with EA or like Ubisoft or anything, right?
Well, no, I was gonna say I would more expect that to be for Sony. That kind of seems like something Sony would want to grab up, but that kind of just depends on who's ready to pony up the funds for all that.
I could also see it being for Sony. Microsoft seems like a company that would work with like Rockstar a lot. Is kind of why I thought that way. So I don't know.
Sure.
I'm expecting to see it somewhere in this conference this year, but I don't know. Microsoft just games. Xbox One has no games. I don't know. Everybody knows that. They've got to step it up.
They wouldn't even need like a good new IP, just like a new IP for people to get interested in.
Yeah, I agree.
It doesn't even have to be good. Just
anything, literally anything.
Yeah.
Next up is Nintendo. So far, I would say the only things that we really know for sure are going to be there are Splatoon, because they're doing that big expansion, and Splatoon is also having the tournament, and of course, you know how happy I am about it, Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo Switch. We don't know anything about it other than the Inklings are going to be in it, and I guess Mario and Link, and whoever else was in the fire. Other than that, it's all speculation. We'll probably see Metroid Prime 4 since, they announced that last year and there has been no talk of it before that, or after that. So we'll see some Metroid Prime 4. Other than that, we don't know. So, do you have any opinions on what is coming from Nintendo?
Every year, I only have one thing that I ever want to see. And it's Mother 3. Like, it's been 12 years. At some point they have to, right? Like, they can't ignore it forever.
Yeah, there's been so much talk of them having a translation of that game done and just, like, waiting for the right time to put it out.
There's, that's, like, every year that I hear something like that. Like, and I still get my hopes up because it's Mother 3. I'm hungry for any Mother 3 localization.
I want it, too. I'm interested... A, because I love Mother, and B, because I am super interested in the ways that they're going to take that translation, because there's a lot of stuff that you feel like NOA wouldn't really want to put into a game like that they'd be a little skittish about, but also Nintendo has put out Bayonetta games. So this is a very different Nintendo.
Bayonetta is good, but, like, Mother 3... and I'm pretty sure I heard... at the beginning of the year that someone was writing a book and releasing it about waiting for Mother 3 localization stuff, so, no better time than now.
Yeah, exactly. Screw over that person who's writing a book.
Yeah.
That'd be good. Alright, so, I think they're going to talk about Animal Crossing. I think it would be a very good idea to say, hey, we've got an Animal Crossing coming at the end of the year, or sometime early next year. They definitely need to do that. I could see them putting out some kind of new version of the Joy-Cons or something like that. I've seen some talk that they might be trying to find some way to fix that hack that was found that made it so basically anyone's Switch can get hacked and you can just... They haven't figured out how to just completely homebrew and load free games onto it, but they're getting close, and I bet Nintendo is scared to death, so I can see them trying to figure out something for that. I don't think they're going to talk about... If they're going to talk about Pokemon here, they're going to talk more about Let's Go. I know some people are like, oh, are they going to talk about the one for next year? No, they have a whole Pokemon game to sell this year. They're not going to talk about the one for next year at all until next year. There's Yoshi they have to talk about. They might talk about Bayonetta, Bayonetta 3. It kind of depends on when that's coming out. I don't know. It's a little up in the air, and it feels more like because there's so many options. Like, the Switch is such a large thing that they have that anything could come to it.
Yeah.
The world is its oyster.
I'd be surprised if they didn't talk about Pokemon this year at E3. Like, I mean, I guess they'll talk about what we already know, but...
They'll talk about Let's Go. I do not think they'll talk about the one for next year. I don't think they will. It's too early. I will say real quick, a leak that happened. Actually, you know what, Janie, since you wrote about the leak.
Sure, yeah. So I wrote up, first article posted. There was a leak earlier that was posted originally on 4chan and then sort of spread around Twitter on various places. But it was what seemed to be like either an order form or something, but for like the displays, like for what games they're going to be actually playable at E3 for Nintendo. And so it listed a few games, a few of which have been like confirmed and know about, but a few others that were just like completely out of the blue. And so it was sort of up in the air. People were thinking that this looked true. And then an article from Destructoid came out that said that, like, yes, we've seen a few of these games under embargo and everything. And so we like have reason to believe that this is true, which is really cool. So it showed a few ports, including for Dragon Ball Fighter Z, which is cool. Also for Paladins, which is like, all right, whatever. And for Fortnite, which would be, I think, pretty big. I think Nintendo's probably very excited about announcing that. A few other games, including the new Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate.
Yeah, that's the double cross game that people have been waiting for.
Yes. And then a new Mario Tennis game.
Yeah, that's a very, very well known. I think that might be out by the time E3 rolls around.
Yep. An Ubisoft game called Starlink Battle for Atlas. Overcooked 2, which is a cool indie game. And then also, and then also Killer Queen Black, which is something I'm actually kind of excited to see. So Killer Queen, if you don't know, is this
the best stand from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Yes, that is true. But it's also a 10-player arcade game. I've only played it like once or twice, but it's pretty neat. And so the idea of them like somehow porting it to Switch, or maybe it's the same team, but just like a new game. But whatever it is, I'm like personally kind of excited to see what that is. Just like something on Switch by that team would be really neat. I'm excited to see what they do with it. So that's what we know about the Nintendo. Other than that, I'm excited to see more about Smash on Switch. A new Animal Crossing would be awesome. They haven't I never played like any of the old Animal Crossing games, but like I've been like waiting for a new one on Switch to get into it because I feel like it'd be like totally my shit. Yeah, past that, I'm not sure. I think it'll be cool.
For Nintendo this year, for me, I'm mostly looking forward to any small stuff they might announce. I know that there's a lot of big games they could talk about. I mean, I'd love to see Metroid Prime 4, and it's especially weird saying that because good God, I cannot believe that it's been a year since Nintendo's thing last year. Wow, time flies, huh? So
it's been a whole year since last year.
It's been a whole year since Nintendo blew my eyes out the back of my skull with a 15-second music sting of Samus's theme from Metroid Prime. So I'd love to see more of that, but there's stuff that I personally, just quality of life improvements for the Switch. Really, I am not kidding when I say the thing I want most on the Switch is themes. I hate that boring-ass gray theme I have to look at every single time I boot up my Nintendo Switch. I don't know if there's any way to change that to a different color or anything.
You could change it to black, but that's it.
Great. I want some things like I have on my 3DS. Like, I want to have Samus, like Metroid music playing, or I want to have like Halloween Mario or something like that. Like, I really just want them to get to the point where they start to pour those quality of life improvements into that console. I want news on what the hell they're doing with Virtual Console, with the game subscription, whatever it is that they decide on. I want to know. Like, I want to know that from them. And like you said earlier, John, there's so much that they potentially could put onto the Switch, but there's 3 things in particular that I'm not sure they would talk about at E3, but I really want. One of them is the Metroid Prime trilogy. I want that on Switch very badly. The other thing are the 2 No More Heroes games, which I also want on Switch very badly. And then the last thing is what I will tweet about every single week until they announce it, which is the Danganronpa ports for Switch. I want those games on Switch extremely badly as well.
You think they're gonna do it?
I think they might.
I bet they would.
They are starting to release Spike Chunsoft games on there. Like, I played that Pixel Junk Monsters 2 game, and that is going to have a Danganronpa DLC. If Travis Strikes Again comes out with Danganronpa stuff in it, like he's been saying it might, then I think there's definitely a greater than 0% chance that those games come to Switch at some point. I think they may wait a year and release it as like the trilogy, like have 1, 2, and V3, but I would not be surprised if they came out eventually.
I mean, a year down the line, probably. I'm just thinking about like the content of those games and their themes, and it seems even weirder than Bayonetta that they would go to Switch.
I would agree with you, but they've put Doom on the Switch. The first 2 No More Heroes games on the Wii, those games are very
That's fair.
very out there in terms of content. So I do agree that there's a little bit of that limit on it, but when you take into account kind of the holistic sense of everything Nintendo has released on their consoles, I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility.
Yeah.
Like, Bayonetta being how she is and how those games are, it's kind of just surprising because Nintendo published it. Like, if Nintendo published the Danganronpa games on the Switch, that would be a little surprising, but just them coming out on the Switch, that's not that big of a deal. There's wilder stuff on the Switch than Danganronpa, I would say.
Yeah. Honestly, I'd really like to see Ultra Despair Girls on there, because that would be the most natural fit of any Danganronpa game on the Switch, I think.
Yeah, because that's the shooter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotcha. But in terms of my kind of predictions and wishes, that's pretty much it. I just want them to tell us what's going on, really. It feels like Nintendo's been super cagey about communicating what they're actually going to do with the Switch in the future. And maybe that's because they don't have everything figured out, but I just want answers, you know?
Yeah, if I can add just like the online play with the Switch, like how all that's gonna work. Didn't they say they were going to like roll it out sooner than like isn't it supposed to be rolled out already, but we still haven't like heard much? That too, I think, is a big question for me.
No, they confirmed that it was coming out in September.
Okay.
But it's just like the only thing that they really need to clear up is what those games are going to be with that subscription, because they said that that it's $20 coming out in September, and that when you're subscribed, you're going to be able to have, they said, NES games at first. It's not known if they're going to expand it beyond NES games, if maybe the subscription is just going to be NES games and then they'll release other games, other consoles in the future. That is what we need to know. That's really all we need to know right now.
Oh, okay.
So before we move on to like the third parties, I will ask one quick thing after we talked about Nintendo. Of course I have to ask this question. Who do y'all think they're going to announce for Smash Bros. At E3? I'll go first. I think they're going to go a little crazy because they always have to announce someone big at E3. There's a lot of talk of the next third party character being Simon Belmont. I could see Simon Belmont. I'm just going to like echo that leak that happened not too long ago that I talked about on the podcast. I think they'll do Simon Belmont and Ridley.
You think so?
I think those two would be big boom characters. One character that people really wanted for fucking ever, and then a really major third party character, especially if Konami does end up going, maybe we should make another Castlevania. That would be a big deal. Those would be excellent characters, and they would have a big reaction at E3. Especially if they announce Ridley at that Smash Bros. Event.
Hell yeah.
Those people would go ballistic. And then later on, during the actual direct, they could show Simon Belmont. I could see that happening. Do you have opinions on who they're going to announce at E3 for Smash?
I don't want them to announce anybody. I want them to take people out. I want them to remove 50%. I want them to remove at least 50% of the Fire Emblem characters in that game.
Honestly, not a bad idea.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all the same character. Like, isn't that...
Be nice.
I'm sorry. I don't Fire Emblem. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I don't either, but just be nice.
I've never been a person who's like dying to have Ridley in Smash, but that would be cool if they did announce him. What are some other left field picks? Fucking Thanos from Infinity War is gonna be in Smash.
Tahanos is gonna join.
Yeah. Professor Oak's gonna be in it, but he doesn't use any Pokemon. He just curb stomps you the entire time. I don't know, Geralt, 2B, fucking Ryu again, maybe. I don't know. I would like to see more of those weird third-party characters in the game, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Joseph Joestar's the only one that I could come up with. Like,
Oh, please.
that's partly a joke answer, but also I really would like the unironically.
So no Goku. You're gonna say another Shonen Jump character. You're gonna say Joseph instead of Goku.
Well, I mean, it's JoJo's, so I have my brand loyalty with that series.
Are we talking like part 2 Joseph or part 3 Joseph?
Why not both?
Dang, I like that answer.
I like your style.
Good answer.
I like your style.
I think, in addition to Ridley, I think they're going to announce Ripley from Alien.
Fuck yes.
Just like go out there, big, what's it, the fork loader thing?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Is that her final smash? She like gets in the power loader and it's like get away from her, you what's a
You
family
big meanie.
Yeah, you big meanie, and then she does like an overhead slam with the power loader and launches you off the side of the stage.
Absolutely.
They don't even add Ridley. Like Ridley shows up and it says like Ridley's about to join, and then like Ripley just like throws him off the stage. Like, no, he's not playable.
They cross out the D, replace it with a P. Crowd goes wild.
I would.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Let's move on to EA. So the things that we know that EA are going to have there are, of course, all the sports. Madden, FIFA, NHL, and NBA. They have also confirmed a new Battlefield, so we don't have to worry about Battlefield 5. There is the new game from BioWare that I am blanking really hard. Oh, Anthem. Anthem. There's Anthem. They're going to talk about Anthem. And that's basically all we know from EA. What do you have to say about EA's E3?
Man, I don't fucking know. Maybe they'll do... I don't know if they're still supporting Star Wars Battlefront 2, but if they are, I wouldn't be surprised if they announce, like, new levels or, like... that's such a fraught topic, though. I can't even begin to predict what they could do with that in order to not seem like they're out for more money. EA... They'll probably announce a couple really weird left field new games that, you know, or everyone's like, oh, that doesn't look too bad. And like 2 years from now, everyone's like, wait, what the hell happened to that game? Like, where is it? You know? So I wouldn't be surprised if that happens, or they do another Yarny type thing where they push these like indie darlings. Or was Yarny at Microsoft or EA? I can't.
Yarny was EA.
Yeah, I thought so. Like some bullshit like that, probably. I don't, out of all these companies, EA is probably the one I know the least about. They won't be doing anything Mass Effect related potentially ever again.
No.
Nope.
So that's going to be a big no on that one. BioWare is doing Anthem, so there's not going to be any like Dragon Age or anything. So
They might still be.
yeah, it's potentially there. I just don't know enough about EA. I think they're going to continue this trend of putting really heavy-handed story modes in their sports games, but maybe one of them will be good this time, but probably not.
The only things I can think of are Anthem, which it'll be something, right? Like
Maybe.
maybe it'll be a game, but that's the only like EA property for sure that they have to like talk about. I hope. It might be a bit too soon for another Star Wars game, but it's EA, so I don't doubt it.
I think there's going to be at least a few pieces of Star Wars news, because that's what they've done every year for like the last 2 years or so.
Yeah, there's the game that like Amy Henning's team has been working on, that like third person game, so we'll probably see that.
Mm-hmm.
Dragon Age 4 is the one I'm really on the lookout for. I think it's different teams with Dragon Age and Anthem. So I'm not like ruling it out. Also, I've like sold my soul to the Dragon Age franchise just like in high school. I've long since made my peace with that. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. Past that, I'm not sure. Whatever, I mean, is Maxis going to be working on something like a new Sims, or maybe
Maxis is fucking dead.
Yeah, I forgot about that, but definitely. Yeah, so I guess just Dragon Age 4. I'm not super excited for Anthem. They'll probably have some info, but I'm just really not interested in that game super much. So
Okay.
Dragon Age 4 is the big one. I'm like holding out hope for some info.
Ubisoft, however you want to say it. Let's see here what they have confirmed. They've already confirmed that they're going to show the new Assassin's Creed Odyssey. That's the one set in ancient Greece that's going to be a direct sequel to Origins.
Very bold move of Assassin's Creed Origins to think that they could release another game with Odyssey in the title after that crown was sort of picked up very neatly at the end of last year.
Yeah, it seems very soon to name something like that. After a fucking Mario game. Maybe the best Mario game ever.
Yeah.
Like...
You could make that argument for sure.
Exactly.
Assassin's Creed Iliad? Just, I don't know. Do you think they considered changing it? Do you think they, like, bounced it around?
You know, I bet they didn't because they were like, nobody can fucking spell Iliad. Let's just call it Odyssey. Like, let's see here. There is The Division 2. That's already confirmed. There's Beyond Good and Evil 2. That is also confirmed. They talked about it it last year. They're going to keep talking about it, I bet. Because it's especially because of the 20th anniversary of Beyond Good and Evil this year. So I'm sure they'll talk about the new one. And there's also a lot of talk of them making a new Splinter Cell. There was that Walmart leak that had Splinter Cell on it. And Sam Fisher was in, Ghost Recon Wildlands with Michael Ironside, the original voice actor. So, I mean, they wouldn't hire him back to do, like, 10 lines in a DLC campaign. He's going to be in a new game. So there will probably be a new Splinter Cell. Other than that, is there anything that you think will be or hope that is talked about at Ubisoft's press conference?
I really don't have much here. Yeah, to be honest, not a lot.
Nothing at all, really?
I don't really follow Ubisoft. I'm sorry.
That's my reaction every year for Ubisoft. Like,
yeah,
Beyond Good and Evil 2. Other than that, I mean...
I guess so.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'll tick both of you off then there. How about that? You're both just, who cares? That's fine.
Sitting this one out.
All right, as for me... Yeah, same. I'm a little surprised that there wasn't more Mario and Rabbids stuff.
Yeah.
Like, they announced the one expansion, the Donkey Kong expansion, and it looks like that's going to be it. Because they're putting out, like, a gold edition with all the DLC soon. I'm really surprised that there wasn't more. Like, I would have expected them to be like, oh, here, you could play as Daisy and Rosalina and maybe Bowser or Bowser Jr., or Wario and Waluigi. There's a bunch of different characters that I could see them just being like, yeah, here, download this and you can play as Wario and Rabbid Wario. Like, I'm super surprised they didn't do more of that. But at the same time, I guess I'm glad that they didn't go too overboard with it. Like, they just went, yeah, this is all we can wring out of it. But at the same time, Mario & Rabbids is a very good game. So I would love to see more of that.
That game fucking rules. I love that game.
Yeah.
It's a good game.
It's so good.
See, I mean, I would say that I would just love to be surprised by something just like Mario & Rabbids. There's that Starship game that Janie mentioned earlier.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I would kind of want to learn more about. I'm a little worried about how that game is going to be because it just seems like it's a little too... It seems like they're kind of biting off more than they could chew at times. Like, I'm a little worried about them being like, here, you could build this plane, this spaceship. That seems like a lot. So we'll see. But yeah, other than that, I'm just kind of expecting what they already announced. I am praying from the bottom of my soul, please do not announce another South Park game. Please.
Oh my god.
Please.
I mean, you might have jinxed it.
Here, you know what? Knocked on wood. Hopefully that helps. Please, if I have to listen to those two stupid the dudes who made South Park, if I have to listen to those motherfuckers ever again at E3, I'm gonna ram my head through a door. I swear to God, I can't do it again. I cannot do it again. Please.
No, I feel the same way. Like, 100%.
Oh my God.
Yeah, see, I was going to start my segment by saying that Ubisoft is more about what I don't want from them this year, and I was going to say that if I have to sit through another fucking 15-minute presentation from those dumb motherfuckers, I'm going to shit myself and die. That's all there is to it. My soul will not be able to handle it, and I will just simply cease to exist. Like, you can joke about that shit all you want. Last year was excruciating to sit through that nonsense for, what, a second or a third time?
Yeah, like, I remember when they revealed the first South Park game, like, I'm not gonna excuse the fucking existence of South Park, but at the very least, when they revealed that first one, it was just like, okay, we showed the trailer, we're done. But because that game was so successful, when they announced the second one, they had Trey Parker and Matt Stone come out and just talk for like 15 minutes. They were obviously like high off their ass because they don't give a shit about anything. They're so cool. They're just, oh, look at me, I don't care. Isn't that great? We don't care about anything. And they just talked and talked and talked, and they were just like, man, isn't it cool to not like anything and to just say racist shit all the time? Like, yeah, it's cool. We had our stupid character named after a racial slur. Isn't that funny? And I'm just like, oh my god, please. I can't do the jerk-off motion fast enough.
At the very, very absolute least, if they do another South Park game, it can't be any worse than last year. I can't imagine anything worse than last year.
I think you underestimate them, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. I just want to have hope.
Yeah, I agree. I agree that there's some underestimation happening here, but last year was like being... I can't think of a torture that would be potent enough to describe the emotions I felt during that segment last year, but...
Like, they would have to actively sabotage the presentation, like, intentionally and thoroughly to make it worse than last year. That's the only way I can think of.
Yeah, I agree. There are some more kind of positive things I'm looking forward to. Like John said, I would love to see more Mario plus Rabbids stuff because that game rules. And I am also looking forward to the annual tradition of their batshit wild Just Dance reveal, which has become a yearly ritual for the Ubisoft conference.
I changed my answer to that. Absolutely.
But that's it. Nothing else.
All right. So our next bit here is Bethesda.
Oh Christ.
They're probably gonna talk about another expansion for Elder Scrolls Online. They're gonna talk about Quake Champions. They're going to talk about Fallout 76. That's kind of all we know right now. There have been a lot of rumors. And Rage 2. Sorry, I forgot about Rage 2, as I bet everyone has, but Rage 2 will be there. There's been a lot of rumors that they're going to talk about another Elder Scrolls. There's been some talk of that sci-fi thing that's being made by that team, so it kind of sounds like it's either going to be Elder Scrolls or the sci-fi thing. And there's also some talk that they might announce a sequel to Doom, which I would be very happy about. There's always DLC. Like, there could be some more Wolfenstein DLC. There could be some more Fallout DLC. Who knows? Yeah, we'll kind of see about that. Is there... I can't really think of too much else they would announce, so I guess I'll just say, does anyone have any other possible ideas of things that they could be announcing at their conference other than what I listed?
No, Skyrim hasn't been ported to mobile yet.
Skyrim mobile. I'm gonna say it's probably not gonna happen, but like anything from like Prey or from Dishonored or like anything, please. My crops are dying and can only be watered with immersive sims. I don't like a Prey sequel or something. It's been.
I was just gonna
it's possible.
I was just gonna say I think recently they added some like cryptic trophies to Prey on Steam that was pointing towards DLC. So they'll probably announce DLC for Prey.
Yeah, maybe like a standalone thing, like they did Death of the Outsider or something like that. That would be cool.
Maybe, yeah, I could see that.
I just want to see Doom 2. Mm-hmm. I also want to see Doom on Switch, but not Doom 2016 on Switch. I want original Doom on Switch.
Yeah.
Ah, jeez.
That's it. I have nothing else to add constructively to this conversation.
It doesn't have to be constructive, Ryan. Don't worry about that.
Okay, here's something that's not constructive. If I even catch fucking wind of Skyrim at this conference, I am going to stand up from my computer and not work for the rest of the day. That's it. I don't want to see Skyrim at this conference. I'm fucking sick of it. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of them trotting out the fucking corpse of this almost 8-year-old game at this point. to put on every single fucking thing in existence. I don't like that game. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear about it. Please, God, if you are listening, do not let them talk about Skyrim at E3 this year. That's it. That's all I have to say.
We'll see what Todd Howard has to say.
Skyrim 2 coming soon.
The squeakquel.
I mean, I take that over another Skyrim port, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, because then it'd be a new game at the very least. But if they announce a port, it's going to be bad business.
We're all just gonna go home. Even though we're already home, we're gonna go home again.
I'm going to go Home 2, the sequel to Home.
Gone Home 2. I heard the Skyrim announcement and got pissed. Yeah, I basically agree. I just want to see Doom 2. That's really it. That's all I really want to see from this. And yeah, you know, maybe some other stuff for Switch. I would love to see. I mean, I don't have any kind of attachment to the other Fallout games. I wouldn't be too surprised if they put 3 or 4 on Switch.
Yeah, the 10th anniversary of Fallout 3 is this year, and I've heard rumblings about that, so I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah, so we'll see. But yeah, Doom is my number 1. With a bullet. With a big old shotgun shell, actually. That's what I'll say. And then finally, of the press oh, no, I don't think... They don't have... Wait, do they? Okay, they do have a press conference. Square Enix has a press conference this year.
Oh, Lord.
Let's talk about Square Enix. They will absolutely be talking about Kingdom Hearts 3, of course.
Thank God.
I would say they are probably going to talk about the release date finally here. They have to. There is... Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which has already been announced, but they'll probably keep talking about it. And then there's also the chance that they will talk about the Final Fantasy VII remake. Who knows if that's actually true, but it's been 3 years since they talked about it, and I would think that they have something to show by now. Maybe. We'll see. But other than that, what does everyone think? I'll go first here. I think that I'm gonna throw my hat out here. I would not be too shocked if they announced an original Nier remake or remaster.
Me neither.
I think because of how big Automata was, Yoko Taro said multiple times that he wants to do it, and I could see them being like, because I mean they've already announced that they're making a new game in that series, so I would not be too surprised if this would be like a good stopgap just to be like, oh hey, here's the old one, and also we fixed it up a little bit. Because that game is pretty rough in the gameplay section, so I could see them being like, yeah, here's the original, so everyone can have, so you can have everything, so you know who the fuck Devila and Popula are, like...
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Automata on Switch.
Yeah, that was...
Or Automata, or however you pronounce it.
Yeah, that was rumored too. I would not be surprised if they ported that to Switch as well, yeah.
I guess the only thing I'm, wanting to see is, of course they're going to talk about Kingdom Hearts 3. I would be fine if they just, showed us new worlds, or, yeah, just new worlds, really. I'd be into that. Mm-hmm. I don't think the game's going to come out for quite some time, possibly, so I would be fine with just, here's a new world from whatever Disney movie we could license. Hope you like it.
I kind of feel like now is the time for them to confirm either Star Wars or Marvel. I think they'll do it.
You think? Yeah.
I think they'll do Star Wars. I don't know about Marvel. I could see them putting Star Wars in there, though.
Marvel might be a bit too soon, or even a bit too much, but Star Wars is more reasonable, considering that's been a longer-running movie franchise.
Star Wars is a more cohesive thing too, and
that as well, yeah.
It's just they would have to pick between will we do the original trilogy or the current one? Of course they're not going to do the prequels, but I feel like they would have to be are you going to fight Darth Vader at the end of this, or Kylo Ren, or whoever they want to choose.
I feel like if they did it, it would be original, New Hope.
I'm of the I think that they would want to cash in on the currently running series. They would pick stuff from those movies.
So you would have Rey in your party instead of Luke?
Yeah.
That's what you think?
That feels more I don't know, the Disney probably move.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
Yeah, so there's a rumored sequel to Life is Strange that we may get some info about there. I liked the first one. I'm torn on the first one. I played the first one. I can go as far as to say I played the first one.
Okay.
And I'll probably play the second one. So that's probably what I'm looking out for.
Okay. So, of course, there are some other, like, non-affiliated third parties. So, if there are any other predictions that you all have, before we move on, just from, companies that don't have press conferences, feel free to say so.
It's extremely unlikely that Devolver Digital would do the same thing twice, right?
I think they already confirmed that they were going to do something similar this year.
I think the best thing they could possibly do is just have the most boring, like, normal-ass conference of all time.
Honestly, I would be into that.
I know a lot of smaller companies like that are starting to do things like that. Like, I think... Well, I know Tiny Build have been doing their, little Nintendo Direct style things where they're announcing their Switch ports. I could see them putting some kind of little thing out for announcing some of their games. They're not new games, but Limited Run Games said that they're going to do, like, a kind of small press conference and just be like, hey, here's a bunch of Limited Run releases we're going to do. I don't know. We're probably going to see a lot of little press conferences like that during the week. People kind of riding on the coattails of E3. Ryan, is there anything that you would want to see?
Undertale 2, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah!
I want to see Gearbox announce the long-awaited sequel to one of their most beloved franchises. And I'm not talking about Borderlands 3, I'm talking about Duke Nukem 3D 2. God. Not Duke Nukem Forever 2 or Duke Nukem Unlimited or whatever. I am saying that they need to go back and do like an Ion Maiden type sequel and have it be Duke Nukem 3D 2 or Duke Nukem 3D 3, the search for Duke Nukem 3D 2. That's it.
Can you kick up the 3D 3, please?
Yeah. I need another stupid ass Duke Nukem E3 trailer in my life.
Absolutely. Oh my god. We are if and when they announce a new Duke Nukem thing at E3, we are going to be inconsolable.
I will say the Duke Nukem and Bulletstorm announcement was a good teaser because that trailer did suck ass, but that was not a Duke Nukem specific title.
Oh man, I'm just ready for a new shitty Duke Nukem trailer. I want something that rivals the Duke Nukem trilogy trailer.
Don't we all?
We're all chasing that dragon. Any last minute predictions? No.
More Vita games.
Oh,
Please.
Don't count on it, sister.
got bad news.
Every day, I hope.
Here's my biggest hope. I hope they stop announcing fucking 3DS games. That's what I hope.
Ah, jeez.
Hey, I like my 3DS. I like buying 3DS games, but I like buying 3DS games that are cheap and are old and not new. I don't want to buy new ones.
Yeah.
I want to buy new Switch games. All right. So I guess that does it for our E3 predictions. We will find out how right and wrong we are in like a week and a half about. Not that long. Hope everyone's excited. Let's move on to questions. If you want to send in questions to our podcast, you can go to podcast@videogamechoochoo.com, which is our email address, or videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask, and that is for Tumblr. Our first question is actually something that we already answered, so oops. It was asking predictions on the Smash roster, so we already did that. And they also asked, do you think Smash Bros. Will make an appearance at E3? Yeah, I would think so.
I hope so.
I would think so. Our next question is from another anonymous user who asks, hello to all the newcomers.
Hello.
I've got a real stumper for you all. Is Duke Nukem a strong lad who worked hard for the gains or a fuckboy? Both? Both. He's a fucker and he works out.
Yeah, they're not mutual. Huh. They're not, like, incompatible.
I mean, he does take steroids on the reg, but, you know.
That would lead him towards fuckboy, right?
I mean, not necessarily, but...
I think that's sort of the implication of the question. I am of two minds on this. The first one is that Duke Nukem worked out to get his muscles because he is so simple-minded that he literally cannot conceive of anything else to do with his free time. The second option is that he's actually been a super scrawny dude in one of those inflatable muscle suits the entire time. And that's it.
You know what? I bet Duke's a sweetheart. He just doesn't know how to express it any other way.
Yeah. I could see that. He's too deep inside of himself, I think. He needs to get it away from it all for a while and do some soul searching, and I think he'd come back a better person for it.
Absolutely.
Our next question here is from another anonymous user who asks, people have predicted that the next Pokemon generation will be announced at E3. What's your take? No.
No.
I said this earlier, and no.
I don't think so.
They have to sell Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu. Those are the games for right now. They are not going to talk about those games right now. As much as I would love for them to, they will not, because they have to sell these games first. So yes, you will have to wait, just as I will, for the real next generation of Pokemon. The Mighty Mighty Boss Stones asks, question for everybody. What is your favorite preposterous E3 leak from E3's past? One that either turned out to be true, or one that was very obviously fake, but everyone believed anyway.
I've got one.
Okay.
There were a few years ago. There's some like wild ass Smash 4 roster leaks. Those are always great. But there was one I remember seeing one where it was like, what is the robot Rob? The like ancient Nintendo. I was like, what? That's wild. There's no way. And then, lo and behold, he was there. It was like Rob and like Dr. Mario. I was like, no way.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, Dr. Mario was in Melee, so, you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Does Bianca and Evil 2 count?
I mean, I don't know if that leaked, but, I mean, that was pretty crazy that happened. It's more about leaks. This is like, oh, I heard all this stuff, and then it turned out to be true.
I mean, the Rob thing is what came to mind first, but now I'm like struggling to think of anything.
Sorry,
like
I
Bianca
took
and
yours.
Evil. No, it's fine. Bianca and Evil 2 is just so like wild that like anything feels possible now.
I mean, I'll just say, like, this E3 is just insane about leaks. So I feel like the Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee stuff is exceptionally crazy, because, like, it was basically like it was barely a secret. There were people being like, oh, I knew about this like 2 years ago. Oh, here's this leaked image of a Lapras that was posted a year ago. And it's real. Like, that was real.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts.
That was crazy. But I think maybe my favorite one that was fake, that was funny, was when IGN posted that they heard that The Last Guardian got canceled. That was pretty funny. They were so sure that The Last Guardian was canceled, and then I think the day after was when they confirmed The Last Guardian was coming to PS4 and the like release date and all that. So that was very funny.
Nice.
I never really kept up with E3 leaks before I started working for the site, so my kind of scope of knowledge is a little more limited, I guess. I think my just in like a very kind of dour sort of way, not this year but last year for Nintendo, or not this year, not 2017 but 2016 I think it was, when everyone was like, oh, they're gonna talk about everything, like, oh, it's gonna be so cool, and it was like 4 nothing games and then like half an hour of like Zelda, and it was like, okay, well, this is nothing, huh? But I don't know. I'm not as in tune to like leaks and stuff as y'all are.
All right. We have an anonymous user who asks, "What are some specific changes or new things that you want to see in the 2019 Pokemon game?" Jeez, people are really hung up on this 2019 Pokemon game.
Yeah.
I don't blame them too much, but let's see here. I mean, I'll be honest. I know that games should go forward and change, but I'm almost kind of worried about what they would do with Pokemon. Like, when given the option to change for this game, they made it seemingly worse. So that made me a little scared, but knowing that they're going to go back to the old stuff in this new one, that makes me feel a little bit better. I would say I would just want them to focus on story. I liked the story in Sun and Moon. I hope that they don't go back to the old, I just want to be a Pokemon trainer stories that they've had in the old games. Sun and Moon had a legit great story. Lily's a fantastic character, and I hope that they go through with that even more in future games. I want to see them focus on good writing, good characters, and making the world feel more lived in. Like, Sun and Moon felt like, hey, we are in a world we're living with and working with Pokemon. And I think they captured that better than any other Pokemon game beforehand. So I'm hoping they just do more of that. That's what I hope for.
Can they bring Pokemon contests back? That's all I want. I just want to go on stage and post my cute Pokemon again.
I will only accept that if it's Gen 3 contests, because those were the only good contests.
Ooh.
Did you like the other ones? Because I thought they were really sloppy.
I liked the Sapphire, the ones in Sapphire.
Yeah, that's Gen 3. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yep. Mixed up.
Okay, you're good.
Yeah, I've got something I want from the new Pokemon game, and that is that I want it to not be on 3DS. That's it. That's all.
Absolutely.
I want them to release something on Switch. I mean, oh god, see the thing is that I could totally see them putting it out on 3DS still, but did they announce that it was on Switch already? Did they confirm that?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
thank god. Alright, well never mind then. My fears are unfounded and I can live in peace.
Trixie, anything before we move on?
I don't know shit about Pokemon. I'll have to pass.
Okay, fair enough. Shoeless asks, what's the coolest sword that Garfield could wield?
Soul Edge.
A Keyblade.
Keyblade.
Yeah. Garfield and Kingdom Hearts.
I think Garfield should have a beam katana.
That's a really good question. I'm trying to think about what kind of sword he would canonically wield in battle, which is... I would agree with Keyblade, though. I think he would probably also wield a flaming, poison, raging sword of doom. That's my answer.
We got a few questions from one of the new hires. Friend of the Discord server, Solon, is one of our new video folks. Our other new video boy is Zach, who I hope that you will meet both of them in the future on the podcast, or maybe just in writing and all that. You will meet them, of course. So Solon has a couple of questions for everyone, especially for the newbies. First off, I'll start with Janie here. What was the first immersive sim experience that really hooked you into loving them?
So my first immersive sim game was like the original Dishonored. I played that back when it like first came out. I just really love that game. It's a good game. If you haven't played it, you should play it. I just love the idea of just like having a tool set and being able to like see a space and just figure out different ways through it. I would like reload saves and like try and go back a different way using different things. Man, I spent so many hours in that game. So many hours. Yeah, but that was really like where I just jumped in to the genre.
So for the benefit of folks at home, and especially for myself who doesn't quite understand this, what exactly is the definition of an immersive sim, and what kind of games generally kind of fall into that genre? Because I've never actually heard the term before.
Ooh, I'm not super sure myself, to be honest.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's just any game that like sort of places you in a world with a certain tool set.
Okay.
Right? And sort of, so you're always like I said, like figuring out spaces and sort of going through them. So like the Dishonored games, and then Prey also, and then like the original Thief games.
Okay.
Also. So a lot of like stealth sort of plays really well to the genre, but really it's like, it's anything, it's like a sort of a mix between almost like a role-playing game, but then sort of almost more open-ended than that in certain ways. I'm not super sure like where it comes from, but that's the gist, yeah.
You're good. I kind of get the idea. Just something that gives you a very sort of defined set of gameplay mechanics and such that you kind of have to work from there, and gives you different ways to solve problems and all that.
Yeah, also, and just like it lets you break it in certain ways, I think defines the genre too. Like in Prey, for instance, you had like a glue gun, so you could like use it to like climb around obstacles and just climb into areas and sequence break super easily, which is an aspect I really love about the just that they're like super open-ended and in cool ways.
Yeah, that definitely gives me a better idea of kind of what you're referring to with that. Thanks.
All right, our next question here is also from Solon, who wanted to ask Trixie about her history with a certain website that she is the admin of. Trixie, you are an admin on the SCP website.
Yeah, I'm an admin for the SCP wiki. No big deal.
I mean, that sounds like it should be a big deal. Solon did ask if you have any fun stories from running the site that you could share.
No.
No?
It's hard.
Nothing you could share.
Nothing fun. It's a pretty hard job. Summertime's always fun because that's when a lot of people who come back from like seventh grade graduation go on the internet
Oh,
Damn.
all summer and discover the SCP wiki. So it gets a bit chaotic around that time, but it's a lot of. I mean, that's the more fun side of cleaning up after messes. I'd rather take that than trolls any day.
All right, yeah.
No shade for seventh graders. I love anyone who reads the site. Just maybe they should wait until high school, I guess, is all. Saves us trouble.
I understand. Funnily enough, it was very interesting finding out that you were an admin on this site. I'm not like crazy about it like I was a while ago, but I was definitely someone who read through all that stuff and thought it was really neat. So, yeah, I am definitely interested in hearing. Maybe you could talk some shit off off mic, off the record. About the SCP website. I'd love to hear it.
Gladly, anytime.
Rock and roll. And then we have one more question that's just kind of for everybody. For also from Solon, who asks, if you could see anyone presenting on the E3 stage, who would it be and for what game?
I want to see Nicolas Cage come out and announce for some, I don't know, shit in the hole, like, weird indie game. Like, what is that terrible zombie game that's coming out? Like,
Days Gone?
Days Gone. Yeah, I want to hear Nicolas Cage narrate someone's Days Gone gameplay, like, and then the dude who's very sad goes out and, like, kills some zombies and such. And it's kind of hard to peg down the Nicolas Cage accent, but just imagine him very seriously narrating a trailer for Days Gone, like live in person. And that's the kind of weird, surreal disconnect that I want from my E3 experience.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Any conference we get to see the big man Reggie Fils-Aimé present, I count as a good one.
So I was gonna say that there should be some like invasion angle style thing where Reggie just shows up
Absolutely
at Sony's conference.
Oh gosh.
And just reveals some Switch games and everyone's trying to fight him off and he's just elbowing them in the face like, there's no way you can take the Reginator down.
He wrestles the mic from them.
Yeah, it's just like, Spider-Man's coming to Switch now. It got canceled for PS4, and he's just like strangling Jack Tretton, like with one hand, just raising him up above him, just screaming into the mic. Ghost of Tsushima is a Switch exclusive. I mean, I would just want like more Weed 3. I want Zac Efron and Snoop Dogg to come out blazed off of their minds trying to talk about Battlefront or Battlefield or whatever the fuck game they played. I just want to see Weed 3, The Return. That is always good.
It was very entertaining.
And I will also answer with a thing that I don't want to see. I do not want to see any influencers on the stage. Especially not any of the big racist ones. Like if there's like fucking PewDiePie or Ninja or any of these assholes on the stage after they've shown their ass, I will be extremely mad.
No trendy gamers.
And that's what I will say about that.
One of these days it's bound to happen. Like, that's the thing that worries me.
We'll see.
The thing that I keep thinking about is, like, I'd be down for, like, Adam Sessler doing E3 presentation. I think he's the guy I've always wanted to see present at E3 since I was like a kid. So that'd be real sweet.
Well, I remember he didn't run the press conference, but I think him and Morgan Webb like kind of reunited to do something for Bethesda like a year or two ago, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that kind of scratched my itch, but like, I guess I just really want to see like how he would do a full-on presentation. I guess she would also be really good as well.
Yeah, I would any kind of X-Play reunion is welcome. I loved X-Play when I was younger. They're both really cool people too. Like I follow I don't know if Morgan has Twitter, but I follow Adam on Twitter and he's a really cool guy. So yeah, I would definitely be glad to see them again.
Y'all talking about an X-Play reunion. All I want to see is the Gamesville reunion. I want to see I want to see the games guru come out and present something at E3. dig him up out of whatever crypt he's currently living in and just put him on stage like, oh,
Hell yeah.
Microsoft doesn't want to give you the cheat codes, huh?
He's still trying to talk about cheat codes.
Yeah, that would be the ideal E3 presentation. E3 needs to give me a blank check to just do the most dumbass bullshit of all time for some fucking conference. Like 5 years from now, when Ubisoft is in the shitter or whatever, they can hit me up and I'll be like, I can help, but it's gonna cost you. And I get Nick Cage and the Games Guru and fucking John St. John out on stage and just go hog wild.
Ryan, I will be honest, if you want John St. John, the Games Guru, and Nicolas Cage on there, I am pretty sure that would cost less than what E3 is already doing.
Very true. Very true.
All right, we have one last question. And if you want to send in questions like these, or maybe, honestly, maybe consider not sending in a question like this. I'm still going to ask it, but maybe consider not doing this. But if you want to send in a good question, feel free to go to podcast@videogamecheatsheet.com or videogamecheatsheet.tumblr.com/ask. Our last question is from an anonymous user. I wonder why they want to be anonymous. Because they ask, best feat in gaming.
Reggie Fils-Aimé.
Wait, is this not about game characters, like real life games people? Or
It could be whatever you want.
I mean, I'm trying to take this seriously and considering who would possibly.
The feet question?
Yeah.
We take feet questions very seriously on the Video Game Choo Choo podcast.
I'm sorry. Clearly I'm not a good fit. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. You gotta roll with the kicks.
Trixie, you sound so so sad. Like, I'm so sorry.
I mean, feet questions just like, how else am I supposed to react? I'm sure Kratos has some pretty good feet after all these years. That's my only answer.
He's got good feet.
I mean, dude walks a lot, right?
Guess so.
I'll answer this question seriously, first of all, and say that probably some character in like Street Fighter has good feet because they do a lot of like kicks, so their feet are probably very strong and could probably knock several of my teeth out if they so desired. But at the same time, I think the main character from the Katamari franchise has the best feet because he does not have feet. He has little cylindrical things that he walks on, which completely enables me to imagine that he does not have feet at all, and thus absolves me of this question, which I am more than happy to accept.
That's the actual right answer.
Just any character that does not have traditional feet has the best feet. That I don't want to think about that.
Yeah.
Ryu from Street Fighter. Anyway, thanks for listening, everyone. Real quick, again, thank you so much, Janie and Trixie, for joining us. I'm so glad to have you on here, and of course, you're welcome to be on the show anytime you so choose. We'll have Zach and Solon on sometime soon. Real quick, do either of you... I'm sure you have things that you want to plug. Janie, do you have anything that you want to plug that you do other than Chooch?
You can find me on Twitter at, when I chose this handle, I didn't really consider maybe having to say it out loud in the future.
You can still change it before this episode comes out.
That's true. I'm not going to. You can find me at GamerGirl69 on Twitter.
Fuck
the
yes.
girl has no eye.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
All right. Trixie, do you have anything you want to plug?
You can find me on the SCP Wiki, of course, or if you want to follow me on Twitter, where there's no feed posts, you can, it's Decibel Music, but the bell in Decibel is spelled B-E-L-L-E, like a southern bell.
There you go. I will say that you probably maybe lost some followers by saying that there's no feet pics. Or maybe you gained some, I don't know, you never know.
I mean, you have to take some hits if you want to climb to the top.
There you go.
God.
Ryan.
Yeah, y'all can find me on Twitter at SewerPeak, which is SEWERPEAK. And Andy and I are still doing Emoji Drome, which is the podcast where we rank emojis and discuss those, which is a lot of fun. And you can find that on iTunes, Twitter, Google Play, I guess, those random-ass podcast apps that pull shit from all over the place. Mm-hmm. Just wherever, that's all I got going for me at the moment, so check it out.
And this is all I got. Sorry. I mean, I have a Twitter, at John Machonsky, with an underscore, because I got banned one time. Because I told Mike I was going to kill him.
On Thanksgiving.
You all know the story. On Thanksgiving. And that should be it. If you want to follow our other social medias, we have our Video Game Choo Choo Twitter, at VGCC, our Tumblr, videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com. And we have our Discord server. If you want to join the Discord, just go onto your web browser of choice and type in thegamezone.zone. Finally, I would like to thank the band Melt Channel for our theme song, Crush, off of their album Magic is Real. If you want to hear more of their music, you can go to meltchannel.bandcamp.com. There's plenty of good songs in there. And one last thing, go to our Patreon page, patreon.com/VGCC, and you can donate money to us, and we'll use that money for hosting and maybe buying games. We'll see. And pretty soon I will start posting those stupid Duke Nukem does the internet readings.
Hell yeah.
I just haven't been doing that lately because I'm trying to find a job. So you're gonna have to forgive me because I don't want to be homeless. But thank you, everyone, and thank you for listening to the show. We'll be back. Not next week, but soon, with another episode of the Video Game Choo Choo podcast. So long.